Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic Channel, and I am sitting here. Um, so this is something that I've been told to hold off on until today. So I'm just going to go into this, and it's very important that you listen to the tonality of how I say these things because the world is being essentially reset. Most people are no longer employed, and they're kind of stuck in a situation where they are having to deal with their shadow side in a very quick succession type of thing. And the thing about learning is that everyone learns differently. But when you're trying to reset the planet consciousness, which is basically just one big universal brain operating, and basically after a cyclical nature of things developing and recurring over and over and over again, the battle between the sexes, homophobia, all of these things with religion that are hypocritical, organized structures that are also stealing from their people, the system has been crashed and all of the network is down pretty much everywhere. Everyone on the planet is in a meditative state where they're having to function in a way of not knowing what happens next. And essentially, what is happening is what I'm going to tell you. So, you are to meditate and take this time to study and practice what it is that you find to be valuable to you. What is your new spirituality? Because you will not ascend and make this process, and you will not come back unless you do it. Zone by zone, we will be essentially what I would call put to sleep, and you will be taken up for judgment. This is not the biblical judgment, although I guess for you, if you are stuck in that mindset of biblical or religious organization, then you will probably encounter it that way. But for those of us who are of spiritual nature, you understand that judgment is just a form of answering the questions: how have you lived your life? How do you think it went? And do you have any regrets? And depending on your answers and the sincerity in which you've operated your life, you will either come back or you won't come back. So here's two ways to look at this. Either you're being judged, which if you're stuck in the mindset of a patriarchal system and everything's crashing down around you and the world is chaotic and you're stuck in this hysteria, blah, 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 then you are going to experience exactly that. And you're going to go up to face God and all of the masters, and you will have to account for your life in a very, very traumatic way. You are going to be either realigned because they think you can let the limits go and they think that you can grow beyond this, and they will send you back in a meditative state, and you're going to have to work your ass off to make the alignment proper. Or you are going to be initiated into what I call the New Eden, which is a mindset in which you are allowing yourself to surrender yourself entirely to the universe. And the universe will then properly align you to the departments that you belong to. Now, the interesting part is that anybody who's spiritual understands that there has been a descension from above that's been coming down. Some call it the monad. They're coming in and they have decided on who they are going to incorporate. And the interesting part is those of us who are ascending are meeting them midway, and we are also being called to judgment. But I call this a different form of initiation. This is the fourth initiation, essentially, but in physical form. So, the more in alignment you are, the more of yourself will be left behind, and you will stand as yourself. The more off alignment, but still chosen you are, you will come back different, right? The monad will come in, and you will bond and merge, and that will take its shape. And the two energies will pull, and then it will come down from the 5D. That is ascension at this point. Those of you who are not spiritual, who have been stuck in a rut and hysteria and don't know what's happening, and you're not in alignment, and you're fighting against yourself, you're going to go through hell, and you're gonna suffer. Because if you come back, you're gonna have to come back a warrior. You're gonna have to come back and be part of this realignment in a way that does not pull the energy down, but instead lifts humanity up. Right? We're trying to get to Eden. The mindset of the universal consciousness is sick of all this victimization and, oh, woe is me, and this all blah, blah. No. The people coming back, or the people that are going to be the elders, that are the masters coming through, have already been chosen. It is not up to us anymore. In fact, I'm being summoned either today or tomorrow. They won't tell me if it's tonight or tomorrow. But I did get specific instructions. I was told to get 2 meals, 2 packs of cigarettes, and 2 bottles of soda. And then I will know when it's time to go to sleep. The good thing about life is that at some point you relinquish control over what it is that you think is happening, and you start to see through the veils of illusion. The coronavirus will never affect 99.9% of the population. The people that it does affect will be a karmic retribution for what happened. I've already spoken on this. The rest of us are literally just being reset. Now, here's the interesting part. It is a beautiful exit, if you will. Oh, wow, I didn't know I had a farmer's stand like that. Wow. I guess I gotta start doing some nude sunbathing. When you ascend, you go through ascension symptoms, and some of them include fever, headaches, because your third eye is opening, and you become spiritual. If you don't believe in any of this, go away. This is not for you. You are not coming back. I don't waste my time with people who don't understand it. This is not what they think it is. You are not going to get anywhere by arguing with me or sitting there calling me stupid and all this stuff. You won't make it back. And it's not my judgment. It's actually something they just want everyone to know. If you don't understand what's happening, then you are not going to come back. You have to drop the limits, and you have to drop the way that you perceive the world. Otherwise, you won't understand what's happening to you, and you will either go insane because you will think you're crazy, or you just won't be returned. You will be absorbed into the superconsciousness, and it will not hurt. It will just be you won't be back. And then when you do come back, it'll be another form of a lifetime. It'll be someone else instead of you. It will be a step in, if you will. Okay? So don't waste my time with your bullshit. I don't have time for it. I have maybe a day and a half before I go up myself again. And so this is kind of my last post on all of this, because they don't want me to sugarcoat anything, and they don't want me to scare anybody, and that's why my tone is very much like, it's not a big deal, guys. It's really not. Death does not hurt. But if you are to ascend and go through this process, you understand that the death process is part of it in order to be reborn. And so if you don't understand that concept, do not waste my time. Do not waste the elders' time. You won't be seen anymore. You will go and do your thing, and we will separate into two worlds. That's fine. The dimensions are smacking into each other, and some things will reveal themselves and others will fade away. That is where we're at. It's a cross section. And if you take that personally, then that's your fucking problem. It's not ours. And that's the way they want me to say it, and they drop the F-bomb. It is not an ego place. If you are not stripped of your ego by the time that you go up, you will have to encounter the ego death when you return. And the way that it's structured is, so far, you could get called up in zones. So it appears to be Oregon first, and then like it'll sweep downwards, and it'll go like that. But the interesting part is that New Orleans, because it's a spiritual center, will be going up soon. And I do mean all of us. And remember, everybody is equal. The universe is an equal platform. The only way to ascend is to rise above the illusion. So that's a personal, it's like a brain cell that makes it. It's a brain cell that understands the process, and it goes, okay, I've gotten to this checkpoint, now what? And waits patiently for the next command. That is what missions are, and that's what we're aligning for. And so you're being absorbed into the superconsciousness, and your value and the way that you operate and what you do and what your assets are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and if you can see through the veil is now in question. Now, interestingly enough, pretty much everybody on the planet is going to lose the ability to dream, except when they get called to judgment. If you're in a spiritual centered point, you are seeing blackness. You are seeing static. You are not seeing beyond because your future is not known yet. They've decided, but it has not. You have not reached that yet. This is what this is about. You are ascending to this point. And I met myself when I opened the door. So the indication to me is that the being, the higher self of me, the master that has chosen my vehicle, is okay with where I'm at in my ascension, because I came back predominantly as myself. It was the Galadriel comment. I am glad, which means that I got the power. I put the ring on. Like the monad has come in. I know it has. And it's been studying me. And it's been studying all of us. It's your higher self. It's the evolution of humanity. It's the evolution of God consciousness. It's the evolution of what that means and what that's going to look like when you wake up. This is not far off non-scientific. This is just what's happening. Guys, the entire planet is on pause. Everyone is in a safe zone, essentially. You are all sequestered, essentially, to your house so that when you fall asleep, you are safe and protected. Everyone who enters this process is sanctified, meaning that you will be safe during this process. No one can harm you. If anyone even tries to come to your house, they will immediately be eliminated. And it will be painful and it will be swift. I think they call it 3 days of night. So, If you have an evil heart, please be in mind that you cannot change this course of action. And it will be so swift and so horrendous for you that I don't even feel bad for you. But it will hurt. And they will make it very painful for you. You see, what's happening here is a realignment of the entire planet. It is God's choice, whatever you believe that deity to be. So understand that if you jeopardize that, He will wipe you out and anyone around you at the time. There is no place for bullshit and masters. These masters that are arriving are the super consciousness taking physical form to realign the planet where it needs to be. Their task will be different. From what I've seen through this veil, which is super hard to get through, I was invited actually. It is a brand new Eden, and I do mean Eden. If you come back and you are having to face the 6 months of alignment where you're going to have to prove yourself, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard because you're not going to understand bits and pieces. There will be chunks of your life that will be eliminated, and you will have to go in search of it and find out for yourself who you are, and then the monads can descend on you. So it's a 3-tier system. So general population, everybody's going up. Kids, by the way, are protected. Anybody who's considered a child under the age of, I think 11 or 12. Anybody above 12, they develop a karmic debt. So they will be with us, but they're going to probably go through, guys. I mean, seriously. Unless there's some badass fucking kids, which is just evil incarnate. Then and even that would still exist because you need to balance the good energy, right? So kids are fine. Adults, anyone who can vote on up, you are facing a judgment. And a lot of you are not going to want to come back. Because you will be shown a path that is very, very, very trying. It includes possibly homelessness, suffering with no food, getting through that illusion, understanding that you are never alone, understanding that you will then be put alone, and that you will be separated from. I mean, it's a shit show of illusion that must be conquered in order for you to understand the consciousness of the universe. Because it's not the universe fucking you over. And that's where everybody's struggling. You're stuck in this patriarchal mindset that God hates you and that God will make you suffer and that God is a bad motherfucker and blah, 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 all this bullshit. You completely eliminated Lilith, who is the female version, the female side of God. And you're going to face her. That's most of you are going to meet the female, the big mama. Gaia herself. You're going to meet her. And you're going to have to look her in the face and explain yourself. That's your karma. That's your drama, not mine. But it's not traumatic. That's what I'm trying to say. And they really want me to emphasize this. This is only bad if you have been bad. If you have been a decent person, and if you have tried your best, and if you show up to this with integrity, honesty, humility, and you understand with peace, you're going to get that. And you're going to have a wonderfully beautiful, cathartic, loving, the paternal, maternal side of them will cradle you, and you will be guided back to your home, and you'll arrive as where you're meant to be. That is gorgeous. If you are an asshole, if you are suppressive, if you are a hypocrite, if you are a governor and mayor of New Orleans, then maybe you're going to have something to worry about. And I'm specifically pulling out Cantrell. Girl, you should be very afraid. You should be very afraid. Hypocrisy will not be tolerated. And your alignment may just be just wiping you out. Deleting that brain cell. Just going, okay, toxic, gone. If you are, how do I explain this? The interesting part of this is that let's say that you have lived a life as a hooker. We already have precedent on this. Magdalene was a hooker. God loved her. Jesus loved her. That is not a castigation. That is not something that you are going to be judged on. Was she a hooker with a heart of gold? That comes back. That person comes back. That entity comes back. That you are going to be given the opportunity to decide for yourself whether you want to pursue the ascension process and help the planet go sacred and you yourself become a sacred being. That's amazing. That's such an amazing opportunity. I'm just struggling to try to get you guys there because there's so many of you like clamoring, oh my God, it's all falling apart. We're going to die. Then you're going to die. You're not coming back. Where's your mindset? All of you are so wrapped up in your ego and you're so wrapped up in your money that now it means nothing to anybody anywhere. Anybody who's still working is just working because they still have the energy to do it. God has given them an opportunity to keep going. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm doing it because I don't fear this. This is such a stupid thing to me because I'm not buying into the hysteria of it. If I get the coronavirus, I will survive. It's not my generation's karmic debt. But the baby boomers, who are the largest, that are going to have to really go through it, they're going to have to pay for what they've done. From the Vietnam War all the way up, all the way through the AIDS epidemic, the 9/11, all of that stuff that happened, the lies behind all of that is going to be pressured into that generation, and they're going to pop. Hey, bae. Hi. Doggy. And so with that process, that is part of their karmic debt. So they will have to rally around that. Generation X, your generation, our generation is different. You are not, you understand that you are what they would consider the sacrificial lamb. You are going to ascend and meet this halfway, and you're going to help usher in the Generation Y, Generation Z, and the millennials, whoever, whatever that is. And they're going to take over. But you yourself will be rewarded the entire process. That's not a bad thing. That's a wonderful thing. So again, where is your mindset going into this? And look, guys, there are a lot of really good Christians out there, a lot of really good Catholics out there that their karmic debt is very little. So please don't take it as because the structure is fallen and because the Catholicism and the churches are in misalignment that you're going to be attached to that. If you are a God-fearing person that never spread hate, never was homophobic, never was sexist, never did anything that made you judgmental over anybody else, you're going to go through this like this. You're going to be like, what? You're just going to party right on through. You're a good person. Your karmic debt's going to be so little. And you're going to be in front of them going, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? They've been singing that fucking song all day to me, and I just don't know why. But it gets stuck in your head. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, what's up? It's all in your head. You are just a brain cell in a group consciousness. You are being realigned to where you need to be. That is it. That is all that's happening. You are not dying. If you see this as judgment, then that is what you get. And they cannot stress that enough. As the zones go down, it's going to be a little frightening, I must tell you. I don't understand necessarily. They haven't shown me how this exactly works for the elders. And when I say elders, I'm not actually speaking about people who are like, I thought that they were the seeders of the planet and all this stuff, and that's kind of cosmic, and there is truth to that. But it's the descending part of the consciousness that is choosing. They have chosen the people, the Christ consciousness carriers that meet their standards, and they're studying you, and they're making their final approach, right? So it's kind of like God consciousness. It's circling you around, like the birds and the animals and all the crickets and all of the butterflies. Because I see butterflies everywhere lately. They follow me and they walk with me and all this stuff, which is kind of a very interesting metaphor if you think about it, people. You're going into your cocoon, and what you will emerge as is a butterfly. Now, a good person, an empress that I really know is going to be with me in some way, shape, or form as we ascend. Jamila did phrase something. She said she's walking and she reaches a beautiful treasure chest, and as she opens it, it's a present from the divine to her. All the butterflies drop and become snakes. You see, there's free will when you come back. So understand that if you are in not alignment with who you're meant to be, and the monad comes down and you two interlock, meaning that you show up in hypocrisy or not in truth, they're going to let you absorb the monad, and the monad will eat you alive. Not scary. It's just fact. It is what it is. Don't lie. When you go up to judgment, just be honest. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Whatever. Like, be endearing, be loving, and show up with respect to the divine. They know, so don't lie. That's the big thing. Like, just show up with integrity. If you show up without integrity, they're not going to sugarcoat. They may actually, and this is something they just said to me. They go, well, we may actually just send you back and let you encounter what the suffering would be like if you are lying and your super consciousness tries to attach itself to you, and what that will do to your soul. That's how they phrase it. That's where we're at, guys. It's supposed to go like this. And then the monad takes over, and your soul becomes one. That's all. It's a very smooth transition. If you're in alignment. If you're not, this breaks apart. And you and you're gone. There's no pain in death. If you want there to be pain, then you can make it painful. Most of you will literally go up, and if you don't want to come back, you will die of a fever and not feel it. That's all. But those of you who do want to come back, we're going to have to fight through the fever. Because your body will have to acclimate to the ascension at a very quick rate. Mine took a minute. I really had to go through it. Now I'm realizing that it had less to do with me and more about I had to experience, or we, the people who were chosen, had to experience the process of death in order to help people get through it. We're ushering, it's a transition point, is how they explain it to me. This lifetime, the goal was for me to do what I did on YouTube, which is to provide people with a place that were guided by the divine, were literally sent to me to understand in the way that I speak, that they would understand me, and that then they would be able to usher through this transition. But now that we're here, I've become, until I go up now, a transitioner, meaning that my role has changed into communicating to you what to expect, how best to approach the subject, and how to get through it safely. Consider me a part of the death squad. In a very loving, embracing way, in a God way, in the feminine God and in the male God. The two are very happy, by the way. This is going to unite us in a way that you've never seen before. This is going to balance shit out in a way that you've never seen before. The way that they have shown me is that it's Eden. You are entering Eden. You are going to come back and you're going to be in union with your divine partner. Everyone that's meant to be, that is coming back as sacred beings, are coming back to lift the planet up, to make it a sacred planet, and we're going to raise the vibration. If you jeopardize that vibration, you will be taken out. That's all they say. Because you have done enough damage to the planet, and if you cannot understand what it means to be a man of science and a man of spirituality, then you will not return. Because you cannot make the jumps that you need in order to understand what's going to reveal itself to us if you are still locked in this brain mindset that there's no divine. You're so stupid. I can't even deal with you. I really can't. And that's me. That's Al speaking. That's not them. At this point, they're really pushing on me to be judgmental now. To drive it home. If you are homophobic, you're going to probably come back as gay. Good luck with that. I hope you end up in a butt jail. Yeah, just taking it up the ass. I don't know. I don't get it. Why does that bother you? I've never once spent a minute of my life thinking about my straight friends fucking his wife. I just don't get it. Why are you worried about us? Is it because you're jealous that we make more money? Are you jealous because we seem to do better than you do? Are you jealous because we're smarter? Well, we went to college. We didn't drop out and become some asshole who fucks a bunch of people and then decides to take responsibility for our kids. That wasn't our choice. That was your choice. You're not going to have a good time with Ascension. Fact. If you are pagan and you don't honor the earth, you're going to have a tough time. That hypocrisy is going to bite you in the ass. If you're a black witch, meaning an actual, a black magic witch, you're still needed on the planet. But if you're one of those people that goes back and forth, you're going to have a hard time. You're walking in your truth. If you're not walking in 100% in your truth, then you're going to struggle through this. But here's the thing. It's only going to be as bad as you are off alignment. Remember, there was as good as bad. So if you are a negative being, that you were meant to be here as some sort of negative energy, then you still carry that energy with you. But you have to balance it still. Negative and positive. You can still be predominantly negative and still be a positive influence, right? Because you're offsetting the positive that has a little bit of negative. So you balance each other out. But now what's happening is that it's so far down and there's so much pressure built upon the earth that those that are coming through now that are going to first wake up is what I'm interpreting. The first of us to wake up will literally be looking around going, oh my God, where the fuck is everybody? And from that, people will start to, as they make it, they start to come in and more people start to factor back into the world, but they will be different. And they will not know necessarily how they're different. They will just know that it's part of the process and they need to follow the breadcrumbs back until they understand why they're the way they are and what happened in between those points. Right? That's the consciousness aspect of it, to balance yourself out. But you won't know. If you're off alignment, you're not going to understand this when you get back. That's what they're saying. It's really kind of weird. But you're safe. And that's the interesting part. The only people who are not safe are going to be the people who come back with evil intention, and they will let you back because you will immediately go. And it will be painful, and it will be probably degrading and humiliating too. It will be immediate karma. It will not be anything that will be pleasurable. It will not be anything you get away with. You will immediately be wiped out by the divine, by the universe. Because there are other beings that are going to present themselves now. And whether you believe in me or not, or believe in me, Freudian slip. I don't know where that came from. I wonder what that means. Believe in me. Maybe I don't exist. Maybe I'm just a teacher. I'm totally okay with that. Because I don't know if I come back. And that's the truth. Here's the thing. I'm supposed to be in alignment with my partner, my divine soul husband, essentially. And I've gone through a very long journey to get him. But without him, I'm not sure I want to come back. And that's the truth. You know, and that's the final choice I need to make before tonight. And so I'm talking to him, and I hope that he says something that says that he's willing to, I don't know, that there's some truth to our connection. Because here's the thing, I come back no matter what. What I'm saying though is, I don't know if I want to come back as me. Because here's the thing, I'm fully good with me. I did really good. I don't have to prove myself anymore. So I'm okay with the monad taking over. That's the best alignment for what my mission is now, right? Like I kind of know who it is that's chosen. I know how this is going to who it is that's coming in. I feel their energy, and I can kind of tell enough out of the energy points what this personality is like, or the monad is, the superconscious that has selected me. Because this was a highly, and here's the interesting part. I didn't know that this was happening. A lot of people who are on the right path, you're stepping into this not knowing that you were up for this part. No fucking clue. And then when we did find out, we're like, I am not playing this game. You can fucking have it. Take it. I don't want it. Nope. Nope. Go that way. Nope. I don't need to compete with nobody on this planet. I got enough shit going on. So we were just like, go away. Go away. Because you had fun with it. At some point, the pain became pleasure. It has to. You have to overcome this negative perception of life in order to see the beauty of what is incoming. And when I say it's incoming, it is so obscured from everybody except a few of us. And even from us, we can't see what happens beyond this moment when we connect. All we know is that we are waiting to be called up. And for me, I know that it happens either today or tomorrow. It was supposed to happen last night, but there was something in the back of my head which had to do with my partner. I know for me that I've said over and over again, I will not come back unless I have love. Like 100% another being that loves me. And it's because it's a reflection of where I'm at internally. And so, even though I know I can make it on my own, I don't want to. I'm okay with the monad taking over if that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to come back in myself and then be like, well, what the fuck? Because I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for kingdoms. I'm not asking for anything that's out of. I'm just asking for love, like the real deal. And so, if that's going to happen, then we're good to go. So they're making me finish this up in a very in-your-face way, and it's kind of a little uncomfortable, but I'm just working through it. Ascension, baby, it's not easy. I never said it was going to be easy. It's not going to be a rose garden, although I'm surrounded by dandelions. Because it turns out I like dandelions. I don't like roses. Opal. I love opal. Girl, I'm going to see you soon. By the way, I didn't know that a mystic and a shaman had ever not met before. I guess we were going to meet, girl. And sidebar. I want to meet your mom. Your mom seems pretty powerful to me, sweetie. Anyway, I love cancer. Jamila. Y'all keep an eye on Jamila. Natalie already knows. Nat already sees it coming. They're downloading some very interesting stuff for her. Anyway, bygones. Now I'm getting into like specific people that are making it through that are the way this is going to operate for many of you is that the closer you are to where you need to be and the closer you are to your monad, the sooner you start to feel the connection between the third eye to other third eyes. And I'm going to give you several key points. Loria, the amazing Angela Loria, JT Fox, Leo at actualize.org, the Lion King. I can't. Sexy beast. That just cracks me up. Leo the King or whatever his that guy David. Natalie, Jamila. I can never remember her actual name, but the one who does I'm gonna take you on a mind trip. Water Baby, She Bear. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Adele. These are all people who have mastered their craft that are all going to be ascending differently. And when they come back, most of them will be more than likely themselves. But here's the thing: those of you who are stepping in, where the monad is coming into you, and you're chosen, you're going to be downloaded. Your image will be known by everyone on the planet. I'm just supposed to tell you that, just because it's going to be a shock. Because if you're in alignment, then you come back pretty much as yourself, right? You just have this super consciousness, and you're aware of a different sense of yourself, and you're capable of miracles, and you're capable of other things, and it's a blend of the two. So remember that the reason this is a 6-week quarantine is not just that you go to sleep, face judgment, if you come back, you live. It's you then have to assimilate and merge with this new sense of self, and then you will literally like face your life, right? But for the people chosen, it's going to be a little bit different. You are going to be downloaded into every single person that's returning as people that are masters. Remember how, like, our masters, the masters that we had leading up to this, they're downloaded into our head and we know who they all are, and it's a group you are now joining that league because the masters are they themselves now you. How does that make sense to everybody? I'm trying to make this as silly as possible to some degree to make it light because it's super light. This is going to be a blessing upon a blessing upon a blessing upon a blessing upon a blessing, but only if you look at it from the right context. Some of you that I know will not be coming back, and I had to make peace with that. And I know how some of it happens for you, and I'm sorry. Those are all choices you make, including people that I love. You have a choice. You can come back, and you can make it, but only you can decide that. Oh, baby. Hi. I'm surrounded by doggies and kitty cats. I don't know. I like animals. You want to say hi? No? Oh, another dog. Alright, you two, don't do it. Don't do the nasty in front of me here. I'm telling you, I'm surrounded by doggies and people and cats. This is so cute. Okay, sorry. There was like a little love moment. One dog went, I'm gonna play. And the other dog went, oh. Focus your energy on the blessings. Focus your energy on the fact that if you are feeling calm while everybody else is going through chaos, try to remove yourself from the chaos. Go into the other room, lock the door, go to sleep, wake up when you're ready, and then they're still going to be asleep, and then try not to wake anybody up. The one thing you don't want to do is make people come out of the cocoon earlier than they're meant to, because then they're really small butterflies, and they don't ever expand to where they need to be. You're trying to grow into what you're going to become. So you want to be in the cocoon as long as is needed in order for you to rationalize and to understand, to debunk, and to go through the process. And you're becoming a sacred being. I don't know how else to put this. A sacred fucking being. You are making your entire breed if you're a starseed. Every alien race that you come from, everything that you are seeded, all of the memories that you are so becoming royalty. And it's because the divine loves you and loves everybody on the planet. You're part of the brain cell. You are his brain cells. You're his kids. And he's trying to reward you with your kingdoms. But only if you're willing to see it that way. If you can't see it that way, then you don't get the kingdom. You get the opposite. He created something out of nothing. But in order for there to be nothing, there had to be something. It's a cyclical pattern. We are breaking free of that. You're joining the creators of the next phase of existence. You know? Your brain is expanding. And when you come back, you're going to be fucking thrilled. A little jarred and a little bit war-torn, maybe, and a little bit like Wounded Warrior, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? I'm with who? What the fuck? It'll be somebody you know. I mean, it's not like they're just going to wake you up and go, okay, you've never met these two people before. You probably have tried to make contact with these people in this lifetime, and you're being drawn to each other. That's what I'm struggling with personally in my ascension, is because I'm heading up to judgment. Well, I think I'm heading up to initiation, honestly. I already faced judgment. I'm heading into initiation. And so as I did that, I wanted to be with my partner. But he's not there yet. And there's a chance that he might make it because of this conversation we're having. But I still have to go. I don't get it. I'm on a path. It's like being on an escalator. You're already on the escalator. So you might as well just be like, okay, honey, I'll see you on the other side. Don't dawdle, okay, baby? Because I'm only there for a certain amount of time. And then I'm brought back. Welcome the higher self. Really important. The more that you are excited to meet your higher version of yourself and the mastery that you... Because that's essentially what's happening. Think of it like you're being given your graduation cap. You have mastered something in this world, and you are grateful, and you're loving it, and you're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, a penis that comes out of a condom. You're just like, bang! Oh my god! Ah! All over the place. Or you're a penis stuck in a condom. You're just like, I can't break free. This isn't feeling good. Those are your choices. So embrace the monad. Embrace that mastery. It's your cap and gown. It's descending now. It's picking you up, and you are both about to go, oh, hi. Hey. It's going to be a very lovey-dovey type of moment. And that's when the butterfly breaks free. And you arrive on the planet the way you were meant to be seen. All of your dreams come true. Everything that is... It's a reset. It's a quantum leap forward. But if you're in right alignment, then you know what happens in the transition. If you're not in right alignment, then it's going to be you waking up and being like, oh my god, I'm with a dude, but I'm a dude. Should have been true with your life. What can I tell you? I don't know, like, that's the worst example to give because people are, like, totally gonna panic, but I just find that hysterical. For me personally, it's the lower end of me. It's kind of, well, not just that, my guides find that funny as shit, too. The idea that, like, some people are so lying to themselves about their sexuality that they wake up and they're like, oh my god, I have a guy in me. Yeah, you do, bitch. Punk ass bitch. That's what you get for not living your authentic self. And there's a bunch of women who are just giggling their heads off right now because they're just like, yeah, they deserve it. Punks. Try not to be judgy, but it's kind of funny. Again, this is the moment where pleasure becomes pain and pain becomes pleasure. I would walk 100 miles and I would walk 100 more. 100 miles was not great. The 100 miles more was a fucking adventure. You're going into the adventure phase. You're going into the reward cycle. If you see it that way, and that's all I'm going to tell you guys. So as the zones go down, it's going to be a little scary. You're going to feel the trepidation of the planet, and it's going to be the people in your area. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if everybody goes down at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see that happening because that would be like a really weird moment. But again, I know that the divine is infinite and wise, so I know that the universe is in place and that everything that you're feeling, all the energy around you, is security. There's like major security all over. This is sacred being. So this is almost like a cosmic moment where there has to be a just right switch, because the people that are going to emerge first, that are going to be the focal points, will be your guides, and they are masters. They are the masters that have chosen. They're chosen. These are people that are in alignment with who they're meant to be. These beings were chosen from birth, and they've been molded like me, and they've gone through hell, and it's been like this whole thing. But there's always been some energy around you that goes, okay, nope, you idiot. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's always been some little thing that you know. I used to say father a lot when I really would get myself in a pickle, because I got followed for a long time and I was being security watched, but I was interpreting it as like being like all paranoid. I didn't realize that dad had literally hired security guards, like lower end frequency people, to just follow me, to keep an eye on me, to see where I was in my ascension path. This is when I was going through a dark night soul. And they were like super like on top of me, like, because they were like really worried. Because you can go in a dark night soul journey, you can go really dark. Like, I mean, you can disappear, you can die, you can kill yourself. Like, I mean, this is a really dark part because they're trying to really try to shake you out of reality, because you have a destiny, you have a point of break. You're either gonna break or you're gonna rise. It's a moment of clarity for the soul, and it triggers your soul into going, oh my god, what the fuck was that? And like scrambling to try to make up for everything, and then you're in alignment, and then you do your path, and then you go through hell, and then everything breaks apart, and then you get destructured, and then your ego goes and that dies, and then you're like, fuck, and then you get rebuilt again, and then you're standing there just like, what the fuck, I graduated and this is it? And then all of a sudden they go, no, now we're gonna shut down the whole fucking planet. You all knew this was coming. You guys said it was judgment. You said it was the biblical 3 days of night, which is partly what it is, depending on how you look at it. But look around. Look at what we're inheriting. If you look at this in the right context, the people who are not going to be able to make this ascension are not coming back. Oh, thank you. Because, like, it's just a breath of fresh air. The bureaucratic assholes that were in office, we're not going to see Trump anymore. I mean, like, I'm just like, yeehaw! You know? And if he comes back, it's not going to be the same asshole who's going in. He's going to be asleep for a while. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a wonderful life. And you're about to inherit the earth in a wonderful way, if you're able to understand what's happening. So instead of being afraid and being uncomfortable, just be like, I'm going to go out and watch the sunrise. I'm going to go out and watch the sunset. I would kind of recommend not going out at night, not because of fear, but because you're going to be put to sleep. So if you're out driving at midnight and then all of a sudden you fall asleep at the wheel of the car, and then when you wake up like 4 days later or something, and you're in your car, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable state. You will know when this is coming. They're telling me the vibration will shift, and you will get incredibly sleepy, and your house will go silent. All of you will go in at once. Anybody in the same house will go in at once. Because you should be in pods. You should be in your cocoon. And so whoever you value on your arc should be with you. That's why I'm trying to get my mate and me together. Because though I'm protected where I'm at in a super protective way, the people I'm with are in my energy field. But this person and I are meant to be together as we ascend. Because when we arrive together, and it makes that union occur whole. Like it makes it a divine union. So I'm trying to get him to catch up. And I sent him like a really direct message today, and he's still talking to me. So there's, life is life. Let go of the ego. Let it go. If you have any ego, they're gonna take it from you, and they're gonna make it hurt. There's no ego. You're not better than anybody else. The monad is not better than anyone else. Whatever monad you're getting is still a higher version of you. You were always destined to be that person, so no one can take that from you. There's no competition here. You will not make it if you are in that mindset. If you are competing with me or with anybody on the path, you are not coming through. You're going to be kept at that level 2 until you are pressurized, until you pop. And then you can ascend to the 3rd layer. And then the 4th layer meets you. And then you get initiated into the 4th. And then you can have what you've created in the 5D, which then manifests in the 3D. And the 3 of them go into 1. That's it for me on Alan Altruistic Channel. I wish you guys the best. As this goes on, remember, there's no fear to be had. Death does not hurt. It is just part of ascension. It is a part of simulation for you to understand that one cycle has closed. It's now time to blossom into a new one. That's it. That's it. It's just the transition. The planet entirely is going to transition. And the more of you that believe this, the more gracious and wonderful this experience will be. The more of you who fear this, the harder it's going to be for you. The people at the top of the 2 and the 3rd layer are not going to feel this the way you are. This is where they separate them. Okay? Because these beings up here are permanently here. So what the problem with that is, for those of you who are on the lower end of this, is they will never see you again. They literally will never see you again. It will be a completely shift in perspective. And so the 2 paths will not cross anymore. It will be like the people who used to be billionaires now fall if they're not living in the truth, and the people who were in poverty become billionaires, and you never once again see each other because it's not practical. You would never cross paths. So think of it in those terms, and because it's that type of reward system. I feel like I'm rapping. It's so funny up here. It's ridiculously fun. So I don't know when I come back. I don't know how this comes back. I just know the music plays a part in my future. That's all they're telling me. And that my husband and I are going to be very instrumental in a vibrational thing, and I don't know, something else about a love that has never been seen before, and all this other stuff. But first I have to go and I have to meet my higher version of self, which I think is just me, because when I answered the door, it was me looking back at me. It wasn't like, I didn't see Jesus. I saw Al. And I was like, hey! And I was like, hey! And that was it. Like 2 fraternity boys, like, hey, what's up? That was it. So I'm assuming that I'm going to come back as me, just different, with my own mission and with my own task. But having said that, some, including me, is what they keep saying, and this is why I'm a little bit like, make up your mind. The masters will have chosen. The masters have chosen who they're embodying, and you earned it. For those of you who this affects, you earned it. You didn't know that you were trying for anything, but you. That's why you were chosen. Enjoy this ascension, guys. Those of you who are coming back, I will see you. I'll probably be one of the first faces you see. For some reason, they keep saying that. I don't know. It's funny because they're very adamant about, like, keep your humility, and then they're like, stop being so humble. Yeah. It's just me, my ego. My ego tries to reflect its voice as though it's the higher self, and the higher self is not having it. So it's kind of like, now it's it's a lot funner. Now I can tell, like, without even blinking, I'm like, that's my ego. I thought you were dead. What are you doing? But your ego can't entirely die because it serves a purpose. It's just being realigned with you, that's all. Personality, ego, body, blah, 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 blah. It depends on where you are in the enlightenment scale and where you're going to be in the ascension path. Understand that there's a storm brewing, and the storm is part of the ascension. So understand that it still might be a little trepidatious at times, but you can't buy into it. If you buy into it, it's your problem. If it's not, if you don't look at it like that, you're just like, okay, you stupid motherfucker. What? Oh, you called me a bitch? Oh, that's kind of cute. How do you like bending over for soap in jail, bitch? Like, you know, like you just dodge it. Pretend you dance. You just be like, what? For me, it's like, what in the butt? What in the butt? That's just what I picture everybody going through. Like, to me, that's like hog heaven. And you know, like, I'm going for butt queen. Yay! You know, get my crown. I'm like, I'm butt queen. Fun. Focus your energy on the rejoice of life. Otherwise, you will not experience it. You will experience pain of life. That's the download, guys. And now they're going to tell me they've been saying that this is going to be the last download. Last video that I do like this. Because when I see you again, I will be teaching something different. It will be a different alignment. And so, with all my love, I don't know what happens to Altruistic Channel, but I've had a wonderful time mastering whatever it is that I'm being rewarded for. I am humbled by the experience. I love everybody who has been led to this. Many of you will find me after I have transitioned into the next phase. And that is on purpose. Because when you meet me, you will have accomplished something. And so that it's part of a process, a larger scale thing. Like I said, I was building a legacy for this life. Now I'm entering in the next phase. So this is what I leave for my family. This is what I leave with my name. This is what everything that's coming now next is the reward cycle for a job well done. And that's how you need to see this. So if you are suddenly finding yourself unemployed, you are going to probably get eaten. Right? So why else take it? Right? Think of it that way. Even though, whatever your mindset is. And anyway, that's it, guys. I know I'll see many of you. I know I've already named the people that I know are coming through. Like, we were going to be hanging, and it's going to be a fun fucking life. The rest of you, family included, good luck. I believe in you, but I will not be seeing you again. And you all know why. That's all I need to say on it. But I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be so exciting. But, I guess I go through initiation either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try to get my boo. Boo, if you see this and you didn't come through in time, you're still going to be part of the process. It's just I may have to wait for you a little bit. And that's okay. I've waited 41 years for you. I will wait 41 more years for you. I will wait eons for you. That's what love is all about. So, though our ships may not connect this lifetime, although I really feel like it will, but I can't promise it because you have to make the decision. There is a block that you need to overcome that has to do with yourself, and I can't fix that for you, sweetheart. So if you see this, which you might, the divine has a way of doing strange stuff, then I will see you soon. I have a vision, by the way, that is kind of unrelated to this, but somehow they're drawing my attention to it, of you showing up, honey, in the middle of the night and going, "This is where you stay? You're going. Let's go. We're going." I don't know what that means, but there you go. I believe in our connection. I believe in you, and I love you eternally. So I know that you will do what's best for you, and that will lead us together. Love you all. Good luck. It's gonna be fine. It's just initiation.